Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you.
Femi Adesina reveals how Buhari COVID-19 speech leaked ahead of live broadcast. Well, it's no longer a news that Buhari's live broadcast news was leaked well before he read the news. Everybody has heard what he wanted to say. If you follow very closely, you see Apple Line Media has even reported the news before Buhari came up to say he was reading any news. So my people, now the matter where we dey on. So Femi Adesina, the spokesman, the speech and the voice of Buhari, has come to tell us how the news was leaked. Hope you are ready. Let's go there. Femi Adesina reveals how Buhari's COVID-19 speech was leaked ahead of live broadcast. Femi Adesina, a Nigerian journalist and government official serving as special advisor on media and publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari, while speaking on this morning program on TVC News, revealed that the person who leaked President Muhammadu Buhari's draft speech hours before he delivered his address to the nation on Monday night has been traced. The news, Apple Line Media don't report am before the news even come on air. According to Adesina, the version released was full of error and was already circulating on social media before the actual broadcast to the nation. Asked to clear the confusion on the lockdown where some newsmen carried out different dates, the presidential spokesman said, "This is just one authentic copy of the broadcast, which is the one released from the media office. But then I recognize a copy a few hours before the broadcast itself. A copy of the proposed speech has been circulating, particularly on WhatsApp. If you copy and compare the two, yes, there are some similarities, but there are also differences. You have just mentioned the effective date, particularly on glaring error of the lockdown. What happened was that somebody got hold of the initial draft of the broadcast and played hanky-panky with it by releasing it through the social media. If you know the processes that the broadcast go through before it gets recorded, you see, now record they give us, recorded speech. I tell you, it's always recorded. It's not the real thing. There is pre-recorded. See, nothing is real. What Buhari is giving you is not real. It's all pre-recorded. My people, it's all pre-recorded. Photoshop, now they call them. Anyway, let's continue the news. The script was originally from the relevant government agency department of ministry who heads that agency, ministers of persistent lock up on it, and then they sent it to the presidential office. When it gets to the presidential office, it goes through a number of hands again because the president's thoughts must be infused and injected into the draft. So it's not even the one that writes it. His thoughts must be infused and was put into the draft. It's not even his own draft. His own thoughts and everything must be infused into the draft. You see? So that's what's going on. It's not his own draft. It's not his own. So his own thoughts and everything must be infused into the draft before anything. I tell you, we call it Photoshop. My people, it's called Photoshop. Let's continue. There are some things that may be in it that the president may completely not agree with. Firstly, it comes to the media office and is signed off, which I also did yesterday before the broadcast was recorded. I signed on the final copy before the broadcast was recorded. So every time I say Buhari they do, Buhari no they do, na lie. It's all recorded. Some hours before the recording was played back, I saw something circulating on social media. I knew that was not the copy that I signed off. Then we began to investigate. It was found out that the original script from the inception was what the person lay hands on and released on social media. Speaking on some mainstream media reporting from the leaked speech, Adesina said, well, mainstream media know how we release our statements. Whatever documents that are being released, they should know how to authenticate it. It comes from the media office. So if the mainstream media is now taking its information from social media, then the mainstream media is to be blamed because we duly released the authentic copy of the broadcast by 8:06 p.m. So the mainstream media should not depend on the leaked copy from which so many discrepancies compared to the original one and the final copy it is. On the reopening of schools and worship centers, and whether a bit harsh on considering the lifeline of children. The president's spokesman said, what Mr. President said yesterday, is he the one that said it, or what you people draft, or what people think the matter should be? Anyway, my people, let's continue with the news. What Mr. President said yesterday was that from Monday, May the 4th, there will be a gradual opening. And what that means is that the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 will give a guideline on what can be done and what can't be done under the gradual easing up. Remember that the president stressed yesterday that some other things will continue, like social distancing, not congregating for religious events. It's on the broadcast yesterday. But the presidential task force will continue to advise on how we can open up and return to life gradually. Asking Asked if the same rule applies to school and school children, Additional said yes. But if you look at what the army did about a week ago, it opened up its schools, but it has but not yet every level. Those who are in secondary school preparing for WAEC are supposed to return to school to write their exams. And he said graduates will also go down a different route. I don't want to attempt to give a guideline on what the presidential task force will be doing. That is their job. On how schools can begin to reopen. It may be the whole school, it may be partially, and it will be announced as time goes on. Anyway, I don't hear the whole matter, say President Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari's speech. In fact, Apple Line Media we actually reported on that news, what Buhari was to broadcast. We've already reported on it before he broadcast the news. That is to tell you that there is no what's it called now? There is no order in even in Aso Rock. Remember Aisha Buhari coming out to say that they've locked her out of some rooms in Aso Rock. I tell you, if you know what is going on, and there is so much disorder, there is so much on preparing, not preparation. And again, let's go to Buhari's whatever news. It's all Photoshop. It's not a speech he has written from his heart to speak to his people. Buhari speaks to Nigerians, like they said, he's a shy man once in every 2 weeks, and he will not even speak to them ahead. You know, Adesina is a very clever man. He has come to say that they've caught the person that got a hand on the initial draft. Where is the person? Can you point the person to us? Can you tell us exactly what is going on? These are some of the matters and some of the questions we have for Adesina. My people, so my people, Buhari's speech, he leaked before the speech even come out. We don't hear the matter. This is the country that we are with their Photoshop presentation. We know that, this country, God will deliver and He will help us indeed. Things that are happening, it's unreal, I'm telling you. When you think about what is happening, things that are going on, unpreparedness from every quarter, you'll be wondering, are we really in Nigeria? There is no order, there is no decorum, there is no investigation, there is no preparation. Everything is just done anyhow. I think we really need a rehauling of our constitution. We need to look into what we have in Nigeria. Is it really working? We need young people to come on board. I'm telling you, even what's it called in the British line, you don't see, you don't just go to White House as you think is as common as that. People come around, people just walk around. You think you can just go into White. If you know the number of army and police that are already positioned, it will be shoot aside. Or is it even the what's it called, the number 10 Downing Street? That's in the UK, where the UK Prime Minister is. You can't do that. But in Nigeria, in the house, there is no decorum. People do as they please. government. Everybody walk around. There is no order. Just a few people, they just do. That's why Buhari's personal aides are the ones ruling the country. The vice president does not even have a voice. People that are appointed, that we elected in, do not have a voice. The governors will speak. One person will say, I am the federal government. In this country, everybody get right. So one person will come up, type will say, I'm the federal government. You cannot do this or do that. These are some of the issues we are facing in Nigeria. Anyway, my people, what are your thoughts? What are your take on this matter? Don't forget to thumbs up for us. So like and share. Subscribe if you never subscribe so that you can get all our latest news. We are here to keep you up to date with all that is going on in Nigeria and around the world. Don't forget you have a voice. Use it. Help somebody. Be the reason why somebody will smile today. And God will really bless you. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.